what games do you wish you had as a kid? And I guess meant ones that you didn't have, but you wish for Nintendo Power. I really, really wanted Super Mario Brothers 2. Like, I'm talking like the Christmas I asked for Zelda 2, I asked for Zelda 2 and Super Mario 2. And it was strange because just that I ended up getting Zelda 2, which is the horrific story of it arriving 4 months later and me crying every day because Sears somehow couldn't get it to me until April. Anyway, but Super Mario 2 I even enjoyed probably even more than Zelda 2, even though I love Zelda 2 as well. But Super Mario 2, I remember renting that game at least 4 or 5 times as a kid. Wasn't that good at it as a kid. Probably couldn't get past the fourth world as a kid. Nowadays can beat it. Then I couldn't. But I just love Super Mario Brothers 2 with all my heart. And that was probably the biggest game that I should have owned and didn't as a kid. That and probably Ninja Gaiden, but Ninja Gaiden used to always borrow from my friend or rent it. So that sort of filled it in. But Super Mario 2 was the one that I would always want to reread.
You know what? It's funny. I can think of 3, and it was Mario 2 was one of them. Somehow we skipped that one, and I remember renting it and I liked it, but my parents played video games at the time too, and I don't think they particularly cared for Mario 2. Maybe it was just too different for them. So that was actually a game that I didn't get until I started buying games again for myself.
Okay.
The other one, I actually mentioned it earlier as a comfort game, was Mappy Land. I rented Mappy Land 1 billion times as a kid, but never got it. And, I mean, I can't imagine that it was widely available in stores. You know, I mean, by the time that I discovered it and liked it, I mean, you gotta understand, I mean, just like modern day, you know, a smaller title comes out, you don't buy it within the first 6 months of its release, it becomes harder to find. So, you know, even though my parents obviously saw that I kept renting this one game, I didn't get that one until I started going to flea markets either. And this is a weird story. Deadly Towers. And the reason why...
What?
Yes. I was always a scared little kid.
That's shocking.
No, it's not.
That's why I said it.
Yeah, I was just trying to cut down your joke. My parents actually bought me Deadly Towers for Christmas one year.
Okay.
But they were like, you know, it's got like vampires and this stuff in it, and I looked at the back and I was like, I don't...
You felt too scared to get it?
They were like, you know, my mom's... Because I was young, and my mom was like, you know, if you think it's going to be too scary, we can exchange it and you can get a different game.
Mm-hmm.
And that's actually how I ended up getting Donkey Kong Classics. And I really liked Donkey Kong Classics. Like, I had a blast with it. My parents thought I was weird for picking that one, but I really enjoyed the shit out of it. Not so much Donkey Kong, but I mean, to this day, I think Donkey Kong Jr. is just fantastic. But, you know, they on the back of the box, I remember the screenshots of Deadly Towers looking really freaking cool as a kid. And I was always curious about that game. Always growing up, never knew any friends who had it. And, you know, it was pre-internet, pre-people bashing it in magazines or online, and all I was left with was wondering what the hell the game was actually like. Because my mom had a friend who really liked that game. I mean, I actually don't hate that game either. I really don't. But she had a friend who really liked it. So, like, as the years went on, I kept wondering, like, did I make a mistake by not picking this game? So,
no, I think you did fine.
I did fine. I mean, in general, yes, I did fine. But, you know, I did end up later picking it up. And at first I was like, oh, this is crap. But, you know, after repeated times playing it, I really don't hate that game. I think it's okay.
I guess it's good and bad that once you get older. Once I got into my teens, I moved over into PC. So whatever game I wanted, I could buy myself.
Yeah.
I used to love going to computer shows. Remember computer shows? Mm-hmm. Because computer shows...
Do you remember standalone computer stores that were just like little tiny one-room ones that were... whatever.
I know, I'm going to cry.
Good old days. Yes.
But computer shows were great. Besides all the computer porn you can get when you're 15, 16 and probably shouldn't be able to buy it. The discount on games... I remember buying Privateer 2. I don't think I bought it in the store. I got it like $15 cheaper than retail somehow, because they would break up like all the OEM stuff, like all like the Sound Blaster CD package. They would take the games out illegally and like plop like $10 down or $15. So you're buying $40 games sometimes for $20, $15. It was fantastic computer show. That's a whole other conversation. I'm getting off topic, but you know.
But at that, just to finish that train of thought though, unlike especially at that point in time, like I mean, if you took a PC Gamer magazine and held it next to another game magazine, the PC Gamer magazine is this big. Why? Because PCs are starting to explode, and there's that much more games being pumped out too. You have way more choice than you did on console, so the prices dropped rapidly.
So I'm not sure what to do with the topic, but I think we'll have to do a computer show, because I used to go to computer shows all the time in the mid to late 90s, up to the early 2000s before they unfortunately started to die out.
Buying the shareware from like the CD desks, like the CD tables off to the side.
Oh yeah, but we're talking even past that point where you're talking full software that's just somehow 50% cheaper.
Oh, I know. Yeah,
You know,
because
and this is retail. This isn't stolen stuff. Somehow they just got it, and you're like, okay.
well, it's like they take the software that came with like computer bundles, and they just pull it.
Not the big box version. Maybe they're the small versions. It's like okay,
like the Mist or the...
okay, I'll buy it for $15 instead of $40.
All right, we're done.
Okay, we're done.